guys? Welcome back to 5 Minute Math. And yeah, you guessed it and you got it. More matrices. I guess you knew because you clicked on the link. Yeah. Anyway, so we've talked some matrices already. There's always more matrices to talk. I mean, we haven't even talked about multiplying matrices yet. So here we go. Warning. This is not as easy as addition and subtraction of matrices. And when I say multiply matrices, I don't mean scalar. I don't mean a number times a matrix. I mean, a matrix times a matrix. Let's get to it. Okay, here we go. I got two matrices to multiply together. And this is one of those lessons that's best taught by doing. So, multiplying matrices is not the same. Not the same as adding and subtracting. They don't have to be the same size to be multiplied together. Now, there is a rule though, and it does have to do with the dimensions. So let's talk about the dimensions of these two matrices. Bang. These are the dimensions of these two matrices. Now, rule number one. Rule number one, these two numbers, the columns of the first matrix and the rows of the second matrix, they have to match. And you're going to see why in a second, because when we end up multiplying these matrices, we're going to multiply entire rows times entire columns. So for that to work, these two numbers have to match. And that's also why you can't just switch the places of the matrices. If they're in this place and these are the dimensions, these two numbers have to match to multiply. If they don't match, can't multiply. Rule number two. Rule number two, the numbers on the outside of this particular sentence, those numbers will be the dimensions of your result matrix. So, in summary, if I multiply a 3 by 2 matrix times a 2 by 2 matrix, these two numbers on the inside have to match to multiply. And once we decide that they can be multiplied, then the numbers on the outside are the dimensions of your new matrix. All right, so what that means is when I multiply this 3 by 2 times this 2 by 2, my result, my answer matrix is going to be exactly right, a 3 by 2 matrix. So with those rules in mind, let's go ahead and talk about how this is done. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're multiplying matrices, even when you're working with matrices in general, always keep this in the back of your mind. Exactly right. Rows times columns. Especially when we're multiplying, because matrix multiplication is exactly that. Rows times columns. But it looks like this. The first thing I'm going to do is multiply this first row times this first column, one number at a time. Like this. I multiply the first two numbers together. 1 times 6. And then I add to it the product of the other two numbers. So 1 times 6 plus 0 times negative 8. So now we work out this simple arithmetic. 6 plus 0 is 6. Now I put this little 1 comma 1 at the bottom because that's where it's going to go in this matrix. I multiplied the first row times the first column, so guess where the answer is going to go? In the first row, first column. That 6 goes right there. Exactly right. Exactly right. Now, I'm going to multiply that first row times the second column. Exactly right. And that's going to look like this. 1 times 3 plus 0 times 7. Exactly right. So, I multiplied the first row times the second column. And I got 3 plus 0 equals 3. And I'm going to put that 3 in the first row, second column. I multiplied the first row times the second column, so that answer goes in first row, second column. Exactly right. Exactly right. Now, I'm done with the first row, so now I'm on the second row. Now I'm going to multiply the second row times the first column. Exactly right. So, just like we were doing before, negative 4 times 6, plus 3 times negative 8. So one number at a time, first number times first number, plus second number times second number. So since I multiplied the second row times the first column, my answer is going to go in the second row, first column. Now, you normally won't see this locator here in your answers or in your questions or anything like that, but just for representation, just for purposes of learning here, I multiply the second row times the first column. The answer goes in the second row, first column, second row, first column. Nice. All right, so moving right along. Now I'm multiplying second row times second column, one number at a time. This -4 times this 3, -12, plus this 3 times that 7. Some simple arithmetic, -12 plus 21 is 9. And that 9 goes where? In my locator, 2 comma 2, second row, second column goes in the second row, second column. Okay, so since I multiplied the second row times the second column, my answer goes in second row, second column, 9. All right, down to the last row. So now I need to multiply this row times, you got it, first column. It's going to look something like this. Exactly right. First number times first number plus second number times second number. What is 12 plus 40? 52, exactly right. And so we put that 52, since I did the third row times the first column, in the, third row, first column. All right, last one. Yeah, third row, second column. Do it. Exactly right. Let's go ahead and work out this little bit of math. 6 plus -35 is -29. And now remember, these locators aren't going to be a part of your answer. I just left them there as a learning tool. So all of these are their positions and where they go. And notice I multiplied the third row times the second column, answer goes in third row, second column. Yeah, just remember, rows times columns. And remember also, these are all individual entries. This is a 3x2 matrix. I got one more example. You got to check it out.